All right, back here on Live Impact News. We've come to our first special guest of the program here today. We welcome on Mignon Houston from the U.S. State Department, a deputy spokesperson for the U.S. State Department, who's going to join us now to talk not just about Memorial Day travel, but international travel specifically. Mignon, it's wonderful to meet you. I'm Connor. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. I hope you're having a good Friday so far.
I've heard all about you, Connor. Great things here from folks who are from your neck of the woods in Virginia, but great to be here on your show.
Oh, excellent. Okay, I need a list of every person that you've talked to, and I want to know exactly what they said, but we can get to that after the interview. Memorial Day weekend, a big weekend for travel, and sometimes people are kind of locked in on that domestic travel, but international travel comes with its entire own set of circumstances.
That's right.
We're going to start big here. We're going to really go big for this first question. The single most important thing Americans should do before they travel internationally.
I love this question, and Connor, the answer is visit travel.state.gov. It's a website. It is a one-stop shop for all information Americans need to know about their destination as it relates to entry and exit requirements, vaccine requirements. You also want to know the travel advisory level for that destination. You know, the State Department takes a lot of time to update these in real time so that if you're traveling to a destination, you know, does it have a level 1 advisory level? Are we saying just travel, exercise normal precautions, or is it a level 4? Are we saying do not travel to this destination? It is not safe for American citizens. So I would say if you can only do one thing, it's to visit travel.state.gov. But if I could squeeze in one more thing to say, it would be also to enroll in STEP, and that's the Smart Traveler Enrollment Program. If you're abroad, you want to make sure in the event something happens, there's a public health emergency as we're experiencing right now in Africa with the Ebola outbreak in the DRC and Uganda, or if it has something to do with security alerts, you want to make sure you get those alerts in real time. We will email you. You want to make sure you can get those. So enroll in STEP and visit travel.state.gov.
Okay, wonderful. And we're actually going to get to a few more questions about STEP in just a moment, but I want to stay with that travel advisory level designation. I'm wondering, how are those determined? What are the main factors that kind of are in play when determining those levels?
Well, look, these are so important. They really are critical before you travel. We have diplomats across our 290 U.S. embassies and consulates around the world. They are looking at a comprehensive list of information related to security alerts or public health alerts, anything that would be of interest for an American citizen that would raise the level of risk for an American citizen abroad. And they are placing a travel level alert on that country based on that comprehensive review, working closely with local law enforcement, local health officials, and also working closely with our partner government agencies. So it's important to know the travel advisory for countries like Mexico. You might have a travel advisory in one city, but the state or another province, maybe just a few miles away, might have a different travel advisory. And so it's important to look, if you're going to FIFA World Cup in Mexico or Canada, make sure you know exactly what the travel advisory is. If you're traveling outside, regardless of where you're going to, the FIFA World Cup or somewhere else, take a look at those travel advisories. Very important.
And I'm glad you mentioned the World Cup. I was going to get to that a little later on, but let's do it now. You know, what level of, well, I suppose, how does the presence of the World Cup impact how the Department of State is sort of approaching travel this summer? What level of attention are you paying to that, and in what ways does it change your guys' approach?
Well, look, we've been in preparations for the World Cup for over a year. Interesting tidbit of information is that we're here now with this World Cup because of President Trump. He secured the bid for FIFA World Cup 2026. Here we are in his second term, and we have the World Cup coming up. It's very exciting, but we have definitely been preparing. It has been a multi-layered approach across all government agencies. We've actually deployed 11 federal government agency teams, coordination teams, to the 11 host cities in the United States. We're working closely with our partners, host governments in Canada and Mexico, with local law enforcement. But number one, what we're doing for the State Department is really ensuring our standards for visas, our vetting standards and screening standards are at the highest level. We want to make sure that every foreigner who's coming as a fan, who's coming to the United States for the FIFA World Cup, that they've been vetted, that they are coming here with good intentions, with safe intentions. It's a responsibility for everybody to keep this World Cup safe and secure. We're doing our part here at the Department of State, and we look forward to what will be not only a successful World Cup, but also very safe.
Absolutely. That World Cup, one of the special events just globally, really it's incredible to have it here in North America, and excited to see how everything goes. Now, let's go back to that Smart Traveler Enrollment Program for people who are looking to travel internationally from here in the United States. How long does it take to enroll? And you emphasized some of this already, but what do people stand to gain from being a part of this program?
Absolutely. Well, just know we are not going to spam you, right? If you enroll in the Smart Travel Enrollment Program, it's really to receive security alerts, information that is pertinent to you as you travel to this destination. It's always important to combine them, to look at and visit travel.state.gov, so you've done your research ahead of time and you're also enrolling in STEP. And so essentially what happens is, as diplomats, and we're working abroad, we're finding out information, we're working with local authorities. If we find out that there is a protest or there's a risk for Americans in a certain area, we're going to send those STEP alerts. And it's important to have those to make sure that you are in real time getting information that could be very important for your travel. Look, nobody wants to be overseas and have to deal with something that could have been avoided. And so we encourage American citizens to just do a little bit of research, use a couple of steps. The United States has our embassies in place for your support. We have American Citizen Services. We are there as diplomats. If you have any sort of incident, you lose your passport, maybe you get arrested or get assaulted, or you have a robbery in your hotel and something happens to your things, you can always reach out to the U.S. Embassy, call us. We can't get you out of jail, but what we can do is make sure you have access to lawyers in that country who can talk you through next steps, ensuring you have a temporary passport to make it on that flight to get back home. We are there for you. Give us a call. Know our number so you can give us a call.
And that's when it comes to somebody who may need help from an embassy. I could certainly see a situation where, as part of the problem, that person does not have a phone or access to a phone. Is there another way that they can get in contact with an embassy or a consulate when they are overseas and encountering a problem?
That's a great question, Connor, because this happens, right? If someone gets robbed, they take everything you have. If you have a purse on you that has your phone, that has your passport, it has your money. You know, what we see is often Americans will get a friend or get someone that they're traveling with, or to reach out to us. If you're by yourself, if there's a way you can get to local authorities, a local police station, they will reach out to us. Even a hotel, you can say, can you please give my embassy a call? You can always show up at the embassy. It's preferable if you give us a call ahead of time. We will have an American citizen that will always reach out to you. We will respond when you call. But we would say you want to make sure that you're not in any trouble. Reach out to the local authorities. Make sure our hotel or wherever you're staying, a hostel or Airbnb, can reach out to the U.S. Embassy. We want to hear from you.
Okay, very good. And, you know, I know that for most people, international travel is a very special occasion, and it may only come along once every few years or so. And so then you pull out that passport that's been in the same drawer for 3 or 4 years, and, you know, you're one day away from going to the airport. You don't realize that it's expired, or maybe you can't find it because, again, you haven't used it in half a decade. When it comes to the passport, what's it like to try and go and get a new passport, to get a passport renewed? It's just a process people are not involved in very often. Context and advice around that process.
Well, the good news is it is easier now than it has ever been before to renew your passport. We have an online process if you're older than 25 and your passport has not been damaged or stolen. We encourage you to use the online system. So take a look at the requirements in order to be eligible for an online passport renewal. But it really has reduced the amount of time it's taking people to renew their passport. This online system is just a novel approach. Everything is going online now. Here at the State Department, we are as well. So go online if you need to renew. Typically, we tell people about 6 weeks in order to get that's the standard time to get your passport back. If you have an urgent situation, we can possibly perhaps get that passport to you within 2 to 3 weeks. But we are really well trained here, the department, our passport agencies. We have passport agencies throughout the United States. I heard a statistic that said most people, 90% of people, are within 20 miles of a passport facility. So it's easier now more than ever. You can go online or you can go to a passport agency or facility in the United States to get that passport renewed. So like you said, you're not showing up at the airport and they turn you away because you don't have enough time. Those 6 months of validity on your passport.
And you've done such a good job this morning of really letting us know about all of the various resources that there are that people can use to make international travel easy and safe. But at some point, your feet are on the ground. internationally, and now it's time to enjoy the vacation. But I'm wondering if you can speak to, once you are there, in terms of how best to conduct yourself in order to remain safe. Awareness, caution, things like that. Do you have advice around how you can just live every day of your vacation the right way to stay as safe as possible?
Absolutely. I mean, we want you, the Department of State wants you, Americans, to feel confident, to feel prepared while they're traveling. The best thing to do is to really do your research, to look at travel.state.gov, to know before you go. But there are some things that we typically see. American citizens might travel to the United States, or might travel outside of the United States rather, and they haven't looked at their medication. Is that medication legal in the country where they're going? Will they have any problems at the airport? That's important. So check those restrictions. Also know your medical insurance, what's covered in case there's an emergency overseas. Do you have to pay out of pocket? Will your medical insurance cover? It's important to make sure you've researched local laws. Sometimes something as small as wearing camouflage clothes in a country might not be a good idea, might be frowned upon. And so really check out those local laws, what is expected, so that you're comfortable, so that you're enjoying your trip, and know in the event of emergency, know the number to the U.S. Embassy or Consulate. We, like I said, we will answer that call, we will give you next steps. We're here for you, but it's always easier if you don't have to call us because you have everything you need. You've visited travel.state.gov, you've enrolled in STEP, but there are some things you can do prior to going and once you're there to help make things a little easier.
Now, I'm wondering, Ms. Houston, if you have a favorite place to travel. We've talked so much about sort of this, how to prepare yourself for everyone's own travel. Do you have a favorite place? Is that, you sound very experienced. I know it's part of the job, but do you have a favorite trip or a favorite place you've been?
I love this question, and I don't know if I have a great answer. I mean, I've been a diplomat for almost 20 years now. I have lived in Guadalajara, Mexico, in Yaoundé, Cameroon, Cape Town, South Africa, and Manila, Philippines. I've traveled for work to Madrid, to Gabon. It has been an incredible career traveling for work or traveling as a tourist. Just, I would say now that I am a little older as a traveler, before I would just look at a globe or a map and just point to one place and say, okay, that's where I'm going. That's where I'm going to save my money. That's where I'm going to try to plan and go. And now I travel a little bit differently. Now I look at travel.state.gov. I want to know as much as I can before I go. Now I have a family traveling with me, so I'm also making sure we have everything we need for their travel as well. So, travel, international travel is a responsibility. It's supposed to be fun, and it should be, but it's also work too. You really want to be prepared and know what you need. We are really excited for this summer, celebrating not only FIFA World Cup, but also America 250. For Americans going to Canada or Mexico or anywhere else this summer, or for Memorial Day weekend, we really hope you have a good time. Want you to know that the U.S. Embassy and Consulate, that we are there for you. Excited for this summer, and look forward to safe trips.
What a list there that you reeled off at the beginning of that answer. That was great. And, I think what I'm gathering from what you're saying here is that you can be spontaneous and adventurous and also safe. You can do all of those things, and the best way to do this is to make sure that that last factor, that safety, especially as you mentioned when you're traveling with family, is absolutely critical. It's been wonderful to talk to you. We've really appreciated it, and obviously this big summer season is coming up. Is there anything else you want to add? Anything else that people need to know?
Well, Connor, I liked your wrap up. I think you should do my job. That was it. You sound like a great spokesperson. That was exactly it. We want you to have a good time. We want you to be safe. We here at the Department of State, the Secretary said when he first started, is he wanted Americans and he wants the United States to be safe, secure, and prosperous. And we want the same thing for your travel. We want it to be safe, secure, and we also want you to really have a good time. And so looking at the resources we have available, we are keeping them updated in real time so you have exactly what you need that you can use to know before you go. Enjoy your trip. We're doing the hard work to make sure you have all the security details, public health details. As long as you do your research and you travel, you can relax and have a good time.
And what you heard from that wrap up there from me, that was pure luck. Rarely does it go that smoothly. So I perhaps won't see you in the hallways of the State Department very soon, but I greatly appreciate the compliment. And, hopefully we'll get to talk to you again down the road. Enjoy your Memorial Day weekend.
Thank you. Same to you, Connor.
All right, so that was Mignon Houston from the U.S. State Department, a deputy spokesperson at that department, and a wonderful opportunity to get some more insight into how you can travel safely. Everybody wants to make sure they're doing all those things they want to do, all those things that you dreamed about, maybe traveling and seeing the world, right? You can do it, but you can do it safely for yourself, your friends, your family, whoever you might be with. So we greatly appreciate Mignon Houston joining us today.